Hi, I'm Katie Schofield and I'm a permanent makeup artist and trainer here in the UK, and I also have online training available worldwide. I have a Facebook group to help support other artists and freebies to help you on your journey. My latest freebie is a mini course on colour theory, which can be so difficult for artists starting out. The links are down below. Today I want to talk about microblading and the mistakes I often see beginners making. I've given you some tips to avoid these and have your brows looking amazing in no time. So one thing I see a lot with people who are beginning is a lot of this where the brow is almost in three sections. You've got your beginning section and then these strokes here come down and these go up, and you get this sort of triangle, looks like an arrow across the brow, and it's really, really unnatural. No one's going to have hair growing in an arrow like that. And so it's really important to concentrate on the flow of your strokes. Whatever pattern you're using, they should flow. Because obviously that just looks like a bit of a jumbled mess. Also, if you're going to work like that, you've got much more chance of crossing over the strokes, and that's really bad for the skin. If they cross, you're basically cutting out little sections of skin. If you do that, that's a mess there. So if you see on this one, the strokes start off nearly upright and they transition here at the top, and the bottom ones gradually are falling over to get towards this bottom of the arch, and as they fall, their connections flow over almost like a wave, so that when they come into contact with these upper strokes, they're all heading in the same direction. So concentrate on thinking about every stroke locking together rather than just sections like that. So every brow will have a spine around about here in this one, but they flow. Everything will be able to interlock with the next stroke. So concentrate on that when you're doing your latex practice, so that it looks really nice and natural. As you can see, there's a big difference between those two. So I'll just talk about brow shapes briefly as well. So I see it quite a lot when people start, that when they're drawing their bottom line, they map their arch, draw the top line in, and then get the bottom arch and just get up to that same point and then start to bring it down to the tail. And what you end up with is quite a wide brow here. So it will be the same as this, but this point of the brow has the thickest skin, and you often find with healed results that this will just shrink back slightly, especially with hair strokes. So they might look shorter here, and then you end up with this, the tail maybe shrinking in a little bit, and you end up with this kind of croissant shaped brow that's thin here, and this is the thickest part, and they look really, really unnatural. So when you're plotting your shape, always remember that this bottom line should extend past your top marking ever so slightly. Take it past and then bring it to the arch, and you're just going to get a much more elegant look that heals really nicely, because obviously this is not going to be, it's going to look quite bulky in this part here. So just make sure that you keep those nice and long and elegant. You can see from this client that came to me for removal and a rework that this is exactly what's happened. And actually the middle section of the brow is thicker than any other point of it, and it's really unnatural. One of the biggest issues that beginners have is with their depth. So realistically, if you're microblading, it should really be just like a cat scratch. Now on latex, you have to press quite a bit harder to get a mark. But it's really, really easy to go too deep on the skin. So you really should be just leaving a light scratch, because if you go too deep, you're going to get one of two problems. You're going to get either your work being too deep and scab up and then lose all your pigment when the scab comes off, or it's too deep and it's going to stay there for a long time. It's going to look really cool and ashy because it's closer to the vascular system. Remember, you can always add more, but it really should just be light scratches on the skin. You are not trying to cut. You can press much harder on latex, but when you work on the skin, always, always, always support the skin, stretch it 3 ways and watch your depth. If you get the depth of your strokes just right, you'll get beautiful results like these coming back to you. Crisp, no scarring, perfect. It's also really important with microblading that you don't overload the brow with strokes. They should be 1 millimetre apart. It might look great when you've first done it, and it might look impressive on Instagram, but as your client heals, those strokes are going to blur, and they can all blur into one big mess. If your client wants microblading year after year, then you're going to have to hit the same strokes. If you want to add density, then do it with shading. I hope you found this helpful. If there's anything you want more help with, then just leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel. And if you'd like to see some examples of different eyeliner styles and who they're most suited for, then click this video. If you'd like information on how clients should prepare for a lip blush treatment so that you get the best results, then click this video here. See you next time.